What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Game Dimensions Tekken 7 Kazuya and Heihachi Mishima figures by Bandai. So these actually came in at the same time my Chun-Li figure by Jada Toys arrived. I figured I would review these back to back just to get into that Street Fighter Cross Tekken vibe, which was another reason why I got these figures, so I can finally make that 6-inch scale of Street Fighter Cross Tekken display for my figure collection that I've been wanting for years now. But also because I really do love Tekken. I am more of a Soul Calibur fan than I am with Tekken, but I still do love the games a whole lot. So let's look over at the packaging real quick. So I do like the way how they got it. They got it like, you know, Tekken, or I just said Tekken. They got it the way how Kazuya is like about to fight Heihachi right here, which is kind of cool if you displayed them like this. But it's kind of weird in a way. I do wish they were just kind of facing the camera instead, but I mean, it's whatever, I guess. But you know, we got an open window of the figures and then like all their accessories that's here. The top really just has Game Dimensions, like a Tekken 8 sticker up here, and then you can see, you know, more of Game Dimensions, some warning up there, and then of course we got like their render shots at the bottom, and Tekken, and then Kazuya and Heihachi right there. The bottom is really just nothing. The side just has the Game Dimensions logo and then the Tekken logo right there to the side. On the other side, we just got, you know, the render shots of the characters right there. And then here's the back, which is pretty cool right here. So, you know, we got like some shots of the figures, and then I like how it shows like, you know, there's more figures that's on the way, like with the locked right there. And then we got like some shots of the games and then some other stuff right there, which is pretty cool. I like how they're both different too, which is nice. So yeah, but that was their packaging. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack these out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so the first figure we're going to be looking at here is Kazuya. So I am pretty mixed on this figure right now. There's some things that are cool, but there's some that are really like odd. I don't understand what's going on here with this figure, but yeah, I don't know. It sucks that I do have my gripes with this figure, because again, I love Tekken. I've always wanted some Tekken figures in the 6-inch scale, but this one is just, it's kind of to me really right now. So I mean, the figure, you know, it poses fine. It's fine and it's okay for now, for like for just you know, if you're looking for like a cheap you know, Kazuya figure, this is probably your best option, because obviously like the play arts and like the Storm Collectibles one is really expensive. So this is just okay for now, but there are still some weird things about this figure I'm not a fan of. The biggest thing for me is the skin tone. Like, he's like really pale for whatever reason, and you'll mainly see that when I compare him with Heihachi. But he's really pale. You know, he looks like he almost has like that vampire skin. And his head looks too small on the body too. Like, you can see how broad his shoulders and his torso is. The head looks way too tiny on the body. So that's another weird thing right there. The pins on the shoulders is kind of odd too. I haven't seen that in an action figure in a long time. But he does have the pins on the shoulders along with the elbows. But the knees he doesn't though. So that's interesting right there. So yeah, let me actually zoom in here on the head sculpt. The head sculpt is okay. He still has, you know, like the red eye here to the side. You know, the hair sculpt is okay. Again, it's just the head is what bothers me, because it's just so tiny. You know, he does still have the scar on his torso, and it does continue when I, you know, do the ab crunch right there. But what's weird is that they didn't paint the scars on his arms or even on his back, which is so weird, and it looks like it still continues a bit there. But it's like, why would you not paint the scars on his arms or his back? Like, why just stop right there, you know? So that's really weird. You know, it's like, that's what makes Kazuya like so cool, you know, like the scars around him. You gotta have that, especially if you just paint this and then just don't even like finish the rest, you know. That, like, so that sucks right there. The pants is pretty nice actually. I do like the pants. I think these are pretty nice. I like the paint right here to the side. You have the belt, which is nice. This is like, I don't want to say it's like a soft material. It's kind of soft. It's soft and like a little hard at the same time, but it's not like reused gi type soft in the Jada Toys figure. But you know, it's pretty cool. The belt is of course molded on to the pants right there, and then of course you have, you know, the bandage or whatever like the bandage wrapped around his feet right there. And yeah, pretty much that. There is like a small texture on the pants too, you can see. So that's pretty cool right there. I think adding like a wash or something would have been nice. Now for the articulation, so the head, it's on a ball peg, but like it's weird because the ball peg is like molded with the neck. So for example, when you move the head, you're gonna turn at the neck as well, which is odd. So you gotta hold the neck in order to you know, move the head right there, because when you move the head, the neck moves and there's like a lot of like gap between there, which looks odd. So yeah, that's kind of weird right there. But you know, the ball peg's molded onto the neck, but there's also one for the neck as well. So you know, of course you have your full rotation there, and then you know, some tilts. You see, it just moves the neck too, but there's like some tilts, and then you can kind of like shift it a little bit right there. But he can like look up without using the ab crunch. He can look up just about there and then down just about there. Really, you can't really look up too much because the hair kind of comes in contact with the neck right here. But yeah, that is pretty much that. Now for the shoulders, you get a hinge to the shoulder, which really goes out about here. That's nice. It goes over horizontal. Of course, you have your full rotation there. You do have your double jointed elbows. See, there you go. There goes the hands popping out right there. But you do have your double jointed elbows right there. And of course, there is pins. So let me actually put the hand back there. Of course, you have your rotation to the wrist. And then there is a hinge right there. There's not a whole lot of range though for the hinge right there, so there's not like a lot of range right there. Of course, you have that ab crunch, which I'm not really a fan of because it looks kind of odd when you put him this back right here, and then it has like a gap between there, and then forward he goes forward about there. There is a ball peg right here, so you have you know, like some side to side, or not side to side, but like, you know, you have like some rotation going on there. So it's not much to really go to the side, then you just get that much. And even when I use them to look, you know, or like bend forward right there, that's as much as you're getting really. Now coming to the hips, there are drop downs, but it's kind of weird because when I shift this, that goes up, and then you have that going on. I'm not really the biggest fan of drop down hips. I just never really liked them, honestly. But you do have the drop down hips out to the side. They are pretty good though. You can see Kazuya, he looks like he almost gets full splits right there. Without the drop down, he kicks forward about here, but you can have him kick even more, but he's just gonna go out to the side. So without that, he just kicks forward about here. With the drop down, he kicks forward just about there. So again, you can still have him kick out to the side right there. You do have your double jointed pinless knees, and then the feet, they're not really the best because the pants are like a hard molded plastic, so you're not really going to get much to really kick forward or back. I think it's a ball hinge in there, or maybe just a regular hinge right there. And then you have like your ankle rocker, but there's not a whole lot of movement with the feet because of the hard plastic for the pants. So the articulation, it's enough, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's enough for the price point of this figure. I think this was 27 bucks, I want to say. But it's I guess it's just enough, you know, again, for like a cheap Kazuya figure, because again, his figures aren't really that cheap. So you know, you have that, but it's okay for now. Man, this hand is annoying. That keeps popping off of this ball hinge right there. But yeah, that is the articulation for Kazuya. Now for the accessories. So you do get these other interchangeable hands. It's really just, you know, if you want two fisted hands and then two open hands, but those came from the figure. While in the packaging, you do have this lightning effect, you know, because that's what usually Kazuya does when he's fighting. He always has that, you know, that strike, so you can put that onto the fist, which actually fits on there pretty well. This one right here is actually pretty cool. So you have like, you know, this title right here, or I guess this text really, but like this text that says round 1, and there's like this stand right here, this base, and you know, it fits on there pretty well. It's pretty nice actually. I think this is actually a unique accessory right here. I do wish they came with like interchangeable head sculpts, but you know, it is what it is. So you know, you can pose up Kazuya and, you know, have somebody else or whatever while you have this in front of that. So you know, that's cool right there. Alright, and now for some figure comparisons. So here he is up against the Jada Toys Ryu figure. And you can see Kazuya is a whole lot taller. I thought they were the same height though, but I could be wrong. I thought both of them were like 5'11 or 5'10. But I know this is based off of Street Fighter 2, so I know like over time Ryu gets taller. But I don't know, maybe Kazuya is just too tall. But it doesn't really work the best here. Ryu is a bit too short, but you can still see that they're both like, you know, in the 1/12 scale, of course. But yeah, this is how they both look next to each other, so that is cool right there. Another comparison I want to do, of course, we gotta compare Kazuya with Terry. So here's the D-Arts Terry, which, man, I hate how short this figure is, but I wanted to compare that and then the SH Figure Arts Ken. Both of these guys are going to get an upgrade for sure, because I need to get the 5K Toys Terry figure when that comes out. I can't wait for that. I did pre-order that though, so that's going to be a whole lot better. And then of course the Jada Toys Ken figure that I'm excited for. But yeah, you can see how these three look. Of course the D-Arts Terry was always short, unfortunately, but the you know, the SH Figure Arts Ken looks pretty good. And I'm pretty sure that Ken's probably going to be the same height as the Jada Toys maybe. So you have that comparison right there. Here's another comparison. Here's the SH Figure Arts Mario figure, and then we have the Jack specific Breath of the Wild Link figure. So this is more of like a Smash Brothers display if you want to see how these guys look. So yeah, they fit pretty well. I still think Kazuya is a little too tall though, I don't know. But you have that, and then just one more, but here is the Jada Toys Chun-Li figure. So you can see how these two look. Okay, and next up we're going to be taking a look at Heihachi. Now, I actually like this Heihachi figure more than Kazuya. I feel like aesthetically and even the articulation is a whole lot better actually. But also because the skin tone doesn't look too bad either, and I think the head sculpt doesn't even look too bad on the body either compared to Kazuya. Like, I mean, it still looks a little bit small, but it's not as bad as like Kazuya's is. But this actually doesn't look too bad. I think my favorite thing about this figure though is probably the gi. I think the gi is like a really nice material on this figure. It's like a soft plastic. I actually like this a little bit more than the gi on the Jada Toys. This one is like, I don't know, it actually feels pretty nice, and you know, it is like stretchy too. I don't think you can really like take it off or anything like that. I mean, you know, the belt is actually molded on to the gi as well, but it looks pretty nice. I like this tiger art they got back here, and I think it's actually like raised a bit. It kind of looks a little raised, if you guys can kind of see that. Like, it's not like just painted on, like you can actually feel that it does look like it's like raised onto the gi. But again, the gi is pretty nice. I do like that. It's not as soft as the belt is. The belt still has like that. It's not like as that soft. This kind of has like a little bit of a hard plastic to it, and there's actually some symbols on the belt right here, and then like the line details right there. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. There's also like some texture going on with the pants too. That's nice. This is also a hard plastic. The pants right there. The only reason why his leg is like this is because for whatever reason the hinge on his foot, I can't really seem to turn that. I think they kind of messed that up. So as you can see, when I turn the leg and then I turn his feet, I can't hinge back and forth. I can only like hinge like to the side, unfortunately. So he's not gonna be able to really stand unless his foot is like that. But if I put it this way, you know, it's not gonna work, unfortunately. So I gotta either have his feet like that or just turn the leg and then have the feet like this in a way. Or how did I do it? I think it was something, I don't know how I did it before. Yeah, like this in a way. So that sucks right there. The only thing that's weird though is that the pants, they're like kind of shiny compared to the gi. I feel like it would have been better if it was like that matte finish instead, because they look a little shiny compared to the gi. I still think like a wash or like some shading would have been nice with the figure. Like even the skin tone would have been nice on it, or even the gi and the pants as well. Now, same thing with Kazuya, but he does have the scar on his chest, but it's not painted this time. So now for the articulation, they are pretty much the same thing, but without moving the neck, you do get that full rotation there. I feel like I moved it just a slight bit. That's kind of annoying right there. But Heihachi can look up just about here, really. He can barely look up because of the hair scope right there that's touching the neck, but he can look down just about there. For the shoulders, you do get a full rotation out of there. There is a hinge to the shoulder which goes high about here. You do have your bicep swivel. I think I forgot to say that for Kazuya. And then you do have your double jointed elbows, which do have pins along with the shoulders as well. So they both still got the pins to the shoulder, but luckily the gi kind of hides it a little bit, so there's that. And there is no butterfly joints either with these guys. Now the double jointed elbows on Heihachi isn't really the best. You know, it can only go just about here, and then there is a rotation to the wrist along with a hinge, so you do have that. I think he has the same ab crunch as Kazuya, so he can like look down just about here and then back just about here. Yeah, I want to say they have about the same, but the ball peg here is a lot better to the lower torso, so he can move around a lot better than how Kazuya could. So we have that. For the hips, he can get perfect splits, well, almost perfect splits right there. Kind of looks like in a way, but I think this leg is a little bit lower. But you do have that. There are drop down hips as well. Of course, it shifts the other leg though. But he can kick forward just about here. Same way where like if you move it higher, it'll want to go to the side. And then with the drop down, you get just about here. So you can move that more. So you have that. Double jointed pinless knees, which goes back about here. And then the feet, they're, well, I can't even use this one, that one's not the best, but this one, you know, it's again not so much to kick forward or back or even use the ankle rocker, because you know there's not a whole lot of space right here. But yeah, that is the articulation for Heihachi. Again, they have the same thing going on there, but Heihachi does seem to move a little bit better than Kazuya. So we have that. Now for the accessories, let me get this guy standing right there. But for the accessories, so it's the same way. They both get like their interchangeable hands. These are the, you know, the hands if you want to do two fisted hands or two open hands. Those are the hands that came out of him. And the packaging, we also do have this right here. I don't know the name of this move, but I know it's like the move he does, like, you know, his rage art basically, which is cool. But because doesn't he like throw them in the air or something like that, and then he just does something like that in a way? I want to say that's what he does. I don't know. I rarely play as Heihachi. I'm more of a King and a Nina main, but I think it's something similar like that. And then the other accessory is, of course, the sign. But this time, this one just says ready. And it's the same thing, like the stand, the base right there. Okay, and now let's do some figure comparisons for Heihachi. So here he is up against his son Kazuya. So you can definitely see Kazuya is a whole lot taller here. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool seeing these two up next to each other. Here's another comparison. Of course, we gotta throw this comparison in, but here he is with the SH Figure Arts Kuma figure. So this is pretty cool seeing these guys. This was a comparison I've always wanted to do. I mean, it's something I could have done with the Storm Collectibles, but since I rarely collect a lot of their stuff, it's just nice to finally have, again, you know, a 6-inch scale of Street Fighter cross Tekken, you know, figure collection right here. And it's really cool seeing this because, you know, if you play Tekken 7, you would know why this is such a cool comparison right here. But yeah. These two look pretty cool next to each other. And then I want to do another comparison. So let me put Heihachi right here and then Kazuya right here. But here they are next to just a regular Marvel Legends figure. So here's the Geez, I'm drawing a blank right now. But the Gamerverse PlayStation 5 Spider-Man figure. I'm trying to get this guy to stand right here. Okay, there you go. But yeah, you know, if you wanted to see how these figures look next to like a Marvel Legends figure, so yeah, that's pretty cool right there. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Game Dimensions Tekken 7 Kazuya and Heihachi figures by Bandai. So yeah, I'm a bit mixed on these figures. I think the Heihachi figure is pretty decent. I'll say that he's a lot better than the Kazuya figure in my opinion. It does suck that the hinge on the foot is placed the wrong way. I tried to turn it, but it didn't seem to work. I might have to heat it up and see if that'll work. Other than that, he's not too bad. Now, Kazuya, on the other hand, definitely the biggest disappointment for me. Head is too small, skin is too pale, doesn't have the scars on his arms and back painted. Just not the greatest in my opinion. The paint on the fire effects on his pants is really nice. I think that actually looks pretty good. But I don't know, man. I think the Kazuya figure definitely had potential. It's just going to be fine for now until the SH Figure Arts comes out. I'm looking forward to the Gen and King figures in the next wave in this line. I'm very curious on how those are going to be. And I really hope they throw in Soul Calibur figures in the Game Dimensions line because that's something I would love to see for sure. But I'm rambling at this point, so let me know what you guys think about these figures in the comments below. If you want to pick these up, they are currently available on Amazon. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. And until then, take care, my friends.